power from the tower. This is the powerhouse of the Eastern Caribbean. VON Radio from the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis.
From the VON Newsline, this is the VON Major Newscast.
Good evening, I am Tashon Tyson, in with you in the news package for today, Tuesday, 28th January 2020. In our lead stories, nationally, NRP selects female candidate to run in St. Thomas in place of retired Joseph Parry. And Golden Rock Hotel and Montpelier Plantation Inn capped number 4 in 50 best places and 1 of 8 best spots, respectively. Regionally, powerful earthquake rattles Jamaica and Cuba. Internationally, Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu drops bid for immunity in corruption cases. And in sports, LeBron James promises to continue Kobe Bryant's legacy. We'll have the details, these and other stories after this message.
Another look.
Different from how you've seen it before.
Another look.
Takes an in-depth look into business, politics, science, technology, religion, and more.
Another look.
Featuring documentaries from the BBC, regional features, and local ones too.
Another look.
Every Monday at 3 p.m. on the Eastern Caribbean's Powerhouse.
Wow.
Welcome back. Another national news in detail. Former leader and sole elected member of the Nevis Reformation Party in the Nevis Island Assembly, the Honorable Joseph Parry, has retired from active politics. This retirement created a vacancy of that seat, which, according to the party's leader, Mr. Roberto Hector, now has a candidate to fill it. According to the leader, the party has selected its candidate in the person of a female to represent that parish of St. Thomas.
The selection is a selection of the party. The party, as you know, we are governed by an executive. The executive would have accepted the recommendation as presented by the constituency group. And that person, a female, yes, is Mrs. Cleone Stapleton Simmons. We are, as you will realize, embracing, as the NRP party has always done, youth, vigor, energy, and like you say, a woman. Too often, females are not in active politics, and I'm happy that we can propose to the general public and ask for the support of the constituency of this young lady. The overwhelming support that would have been given to the Honorable Joseph Parry.
He explained why the decision was made to have Mrs. Stapleton Simmons as representative for the area.
She was born and raised in Cotton Ground and is living in Cotton Ground at the present moment. She's known by all. Her family extends throughout the entire constituency. And so any negatives, I cannot see at this stage what they can very well be. I believe the constituency would, as I have seen, embrace her as one of theirs.
Mr. Roberto Hector. Mr. Parry retired from active politics on Monday, 6 January 2020 after being involved with politics for over 30 years. He was first elected on the NRP ticket in December 1987. Meanwhile, Premier of Nevis Honorable Mark Brantley, speaking at his first press conference for the new decade today, Tuesday, 28th January, congratulated the NRP candidate, Mrs. Cleone Stapleton Simmons, on her selection. In congratulating her, Premier Brantley also had some words of admonition for the new candidate.
Let me, from this rostrum, congratulate Mrs. Simmons and wish her all the very best in her endeavors. I always like to see young people coming into the political field. I know some people say they're not interested in politics, but the truth is that politics affects all of us because the decisions that are taken by governments, the policies that are set, have an impact on us all. So we welcome young Mrs. Simmons and wish her all the very best, to tell her that politics is not easy. It is certainly something that can be very challenging. And she's coming up against the best political machinery that the Caribbean has seen in the Concerned Citizens Movement. So I will let her know that while I wish her well, she could expect that it will be some turbulence in the parish of St. Thomas's in coming days.
The retirement of the Honorable Joseph Parry from active politics has triggered a by-election here in Nevis. According to the Constitution, a by-election must be called within 90 days. Should we expect the election to be called in the next few days or weeks? The ruling CCM-led administration has not named its candidate to run in that area.
I think that we need to be careful that when we announce, we know exactly who we are talking about, and that that person is in fact the candidate, and that that is the person who will be running. So we don't give any false impressions to the general public. Insofar as the date, that will be decided again. The Constitution gives 90 days, and so within 90 days that announcement will be made.
The Honorable Mark Brantley. Nevis's Golden Rock Hotel and Montpelier Plantation Inn came in for praises from Premier the Honorable Mark Brantley, as they are included in top positions in news magazines for best places to visit. Premier Brantley made the announcement during his press conference today, Tuesday, January 28th.
Let me congratulate the Golden Rock Hotel. They have been named at number 4 in the 50 best hotels in the Caribbean Today's Time magazine. We congratulate them on that achievement. Let us also congratulate Montpelier. They've been named one of the 8 best spots for beating the winter blues in the January 15 Vanity Fair Getaway Guide magazine.
Premier the Honorable Mark Brantley. Golden Rock sits on 100 acres stretching up the verdant slopes of Nevis Peak. 11 guest rooms offer privacy, glorious tropical gardens, and sea views toward the Caribbean islands of Antigua and Montserrat, according to GoldenRockNevis.com. Based on MontpelierNevis.com, Travel and Leisure and Condé Nast Traveler regularly names Montpelier among the top resort hotels in the Caribbean, with special note for it being a romantic destination. Leader of the St. Kitts Nevis Labour Party, SKNLP, Dr. the Honorable Denzel Douglas, has said that since the party is lost in the general elections of 2015, the entity has had time to consider the errors made by the party prior to its defeat. The party was at the helm of government for 20 years, from 1995 to 2015. Here is Dr. Douglas.
I thank God for these 5 years in opposition, mainly because they have brought lessons that I have tried my best to learn, and for the renewal and, of course, for the rejuvenation that has taken place in our party, that has been responsible for the St. Kitts Nevis Labour Party emerging eventually much stronger and better than ever before. I want to say specifically that during this period it was important for us to reflect on the mistakes that we might have made in the past.
As elections are imminent here in St. Kitts and Nevis, Dr. Douglas said that at the party's press conference on Friday, January 17th, that if the party wins, the next-gen SKN will perform the following.
1. Resuscitate the CBI program to platinum brand that it once was. In addition to the donation options and the real estate option, we will create a new development option that will channel the donations directly into a long list of development projects. 2, it will attract new investment projects that will create jobs. 3, we will explore and we will develop new industries, such as the medical marijuana industry and, of course, the creative industries. 4, we will grow our enclave manufacturing sector. 5, we will bring economic development to all constituencies and find ways and means of using the unique features of each community to create special attractions.
Leader of the St. Kitts Nevis Labour Party, SKNLP, Dr. Honorable Denzel Douglas. Ambassador and head of a mission of the embassies of Eastern Caribbean states to the Kingdom of Morocco, His Excellency Mr. Ian Mkwili, presented his letters of credence to His Majesty King Mohammed VI during an official ceremony held on January 22, 2020 at El Makouar Essien Royal Palace in Rabat, Kingdom of Morocco. My life has been one of service, and it is a great honor and privilege for me to serve the Organization of Eastern Caribbean States, said Ambassador Quealy during the day's auspicious ceremony. The embassies of Eastern Caribbean states commenced operations officially in September 2019 and has since supervised the successful implementation of several development programs, in addition to the continued provision of consular services to OECS nationals in Morocco. Wednesday's event marked a significant, positive escalation in the strengthening of the Eastern Caribbean-Moroccan alliance. Ambassador Quealy boasts an extensive 35-year career in law enforcement and has held several leadership positions at various local and regional law enforcement institutions in the Eastern Caribbean. Prior to the commencement of duties at the embassy, Ambassador Quealy served as the Commissioner of Police in the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis, President of the Association of Caribbean Commissioners of Police ACCP, and World Regional Chair of the International Association of Chiefs of Police IACP for the Caribbean and Latin America. He was also a member of the IACP's Global Policing Task Force. And finally, an island-wide testing program for farmers whose animals have been affected with the dermatophilosis will be coordinated by the Department of Agriculture in St. Kitts. Dermatophilosis is a skin disease of many animal species and caused by the spore-forming bacterium Dermatophilosis congolensis. Director of Agriculture in St. Kitts, Melvin James, stated that the program will be conducted free of cost over a 6-month period. The director said that a team created by the Department of Agriculture will be equipped with Beticol and restraining material as it conducts its tests. He stated that the aim is to minimize the ticks among the domestic animals and avoid a resurgence of such. That's the national news segment. You can visit our website at www.vonradio.com or check us out on Facebook at Von Radio or our Von Radio YouTube channel for these and other stories. News from across the region is next.
We know you have your personal as well as your business needs, and we're here to help. Our knowledgeable staff will work with you to help you achieve the financial success that you or your company needs in a competitive market. We offer solutions to make your banking experience easier, like our savings and checking accounts. Be sure to ask about our youth savers accounts and our Bank of Nevis Gold Club. We offer a wide range of personal loans, including mortgage, land, student, auto, and consumer loans. Have access to your funds instantly with our Be Online internet banking and our debit and credit cards. We make international banking and investing easy. How's your business? Give it the leverage it really needs by letting the Bank of Nevis assist you with all the necessary funding for all your business expenses. It's that easy. What are you waiting for? The Bank of Nevis Limited, improving the quality of life.
Like us on Facebook at www.facebook.com/The Bank of Nevis.
Welcome back. Another regional news in detail out of Jamaica. A powerful 7.7 magnitude earthquake has struck in the Caribbean, prompting tsunami warnings for parts of the region, the U.S. Geological Survey, USGS, said on Tuesday. The quake hit between Jamaica, the Cayman Islands, and Cuba at a depth of 10 kilometers, 6.2 miles, the USGS said. Buildings shook and tremors were felt as far away as Miami, but there were no immediate reports of casualties. Warnings were quickly issued by the Pacific Tsunami Warning Center, PTWC. The PTWC said hazardous tsunami waves are possible for coasts located within 300 kilometers of the earthquake's epicenter. This includes parts of Belize, Cuba, Honduras, Mexico, the Cayman Islands, and Jamaica, it said. The epicenter of the quake, initially reported as magnitude 7.3 before being upgraded, was 125 kilometers northwest of Lucia, Jamaica. Shaking has been reported in the Cuban capital Havana and in Kingston, Jamaica. Out of St. Croix. Almost 2.5 years after Hurricanes Irma and Maria, the VI Government Hospital and Health Facilities Corporation Board voted to take an important step in rebuilding the territory's healthcare system. The Health Facilities Corporation Board, in the governing body of the government, 1F Louis Hospital, Snyder Regional Medical Center, Charlotte Kimmelman Cancer Center, and Mara Keating Smith Clinic. The board is made up of the members from 2 district boards. On Monday's meeting held in the Virgin Islands Cardiac Center and attended by all members, the board voted unanimously to approve the territory's hospital rebuilding program. The vote allows the administrations of Snyder and Lewis hospitals to seek architectural and engineering services through the VI, Department of Property and Procurement. The request for proposals will seek initial services, engineering and architectural to begin reconstruction or repair of the territory's healthcare facilities. Before the vote Monday, the chief executive officers of 2 hospitals, Dr. Bernard Wheatley and acting CEO Dimer Williams, along with Darrell Smalls, the vice president of Snyder's Facilities Management, presented the proposal to the board. Smalls explained the project to the rest of the board. Out of St. Martin. Authorities at Princess Juliana International Airport, PJIA, said on Monday that the airport is rolling out its pandemic plan in response to the recent coronavirus outbreak. However, airport officials emphasized that these are precautionary measures and the threat to St. Martin is minimal given current information about the outbreak. Government and PJIA officials had a meeting on Friday, January 24th, to discuss the airport's preparedness for this new strain of the coronavirus, which is dubbed 2019 nCoV by scientists. This meeting was followed by a meeting on a Monday morning, which was attended by Interim Minister of Public Health, Social Development and Labor, VSA, Pamela Gordon-Carty, PJIA Chief Executive Officer CEO Brian Mingo, PJIA Chief Operating Officer Michael Hyman, and members of PJIA's safety team. Mingo told the Daily Herald on Monday evening that there is currently no need to declare an emergency as St. Martin does not have any direct flights to China. Moreover, the airports that do have direct flights to both St. Martin and China, thereby creating opportunities for connections, have already implemented their own strict screening procedures, he said. However, Mingo said PJIA will be implementing its pandemic plan as a precautionary measure. This plan will focus primarily on information and awareness about the disease. And finally, out of Curacao. The large-scale destruction of the coral reef in Curacao late September 2019, caused by an oil platform, is highly regrettable, but is an internal matter that is being handled by the local government. Minister of Home Affairs and Kingdom Relations Raymond Knops stated in response to written questions submitted early October 2019 by members of the Second Chamber of the Dutch Parliament, Remco Dijkstra and Andre Bosman, both of the Liberal Democratic VVD party. Knops said he had taken note of the enormous damage caused to the coral reef at Boca Saming on September 25th. Threatened with ending up on the shores due to heavy weather, the mobile oil drilling platform powered up its engines to remain in position, with catastrophic consequences for the coral reef. 2,500 square meters were ripped apart or heavily damaged. Part of the reef was pushed down, creating a crater of 15 by 50 meters and 7 meters deep. Knopp said he very much lamented that irreparable damage had been done to the coral. Luckily, the damage was limited to a part of Curaçao's total reef, he stated. The members of Parliament, MPs, asked about the investigation into the incident carried out by the Curaçao Ministry of Public Health, Environment and Nature. NOPS confirmed that an investigation was being carried out into the cause of the damage. That's it for the regional stories. Stay with us for news from around the world. Welcome back, and now the international news in detail. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has withdrawn his request for parliamentary immunity from prosecution on corruption charges. In November, Mr. Netanyahu was indicted by the Attorney General on charges of bribery, fraud, and breach of trust in connection with 3 separate cases. He has denied any wrongdoing. The announcement came as the Israeli parliament was due to open a debate on the immunity request. Mr. Netanyahu said he would not have gotten a fair trial. He also criticized opponents for holding the debate when U.S. President Donald Trump was due to unveil his long-awaited Middle East peace plan. Hong Kong has announced plans to slash cross-border travel between the city and mainland China as the new coronavirus continues to spread. More than 100 people have now died in China, with confirmed infections surging to more than 4,500. High-speed trains and ferries that cross the border will be suspended from Thursday. Hong Kong leader Carrie Lam announced she wore a face mask. The virus has spread across China and to at least 16 countries globally. On Monday, Germany and Japan confirmed that they had cases involving people who had not traveled to China but caught the virus from someone who had. Washington Post employees have condemned the paper after it suspended a journalist for tweets about the late U.S. basketball legend Kobe Bryant. Felicia Sonmez posted a link to a 2016 article about historical sexual assault allegations against Bryant in the wake of his death in a helicopter crash. She received death threats and has since deleted the post. But the paper then placed her on administrative leave, prompting a condemnatory letter from colleagues. Instead of protecting and supporting a reporter in the face of abuse, the Post placed her on administrative leave. The Washington Post Guild letter to the editors reads, it describes the paper's social media guidelines as vague and inconsistently enforced, and says the newspaper has not clearly explained why she was suspended. More than 300 Washington Post employees have signed a letter in support of Ms. Sumnes. The growing list includes Pulitzer Prize winners David Fahrenthold and Beth Reinhard, and White House Bureau Chief Philip Rucker. And finally, a British man has died in Florida while in the custody of U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement ICE, the agency confirmed to the BBC. Ben James Owen, 39, was found unresponsive in his cell on 25th January and is believed to have taken his own life. Owen was arrested on 12th January on several charges, including aggravated stalking and domestic assault. ICE said the cause of death was still under investigation. Owen entered the U.S. lawfully but overstayed his visa, which was valid until 10th December 2019. He was awaiting deportation proceedings at the time of his death, ICE told the BBC. He was arrested in Port Orange, Florida, and charged with felony aggravated stalking, false imprisonment, domestic assault, and violating the conditions of his pre-trial release. He was then transferred to ICE custody on 15th January. Owen was also awaiting trial on a different domestic battery charge from November 2019. And that brings us to the end of our news segments. The latest in sports is next.
Let TDC Financial Services help you go for your goals. Whether you're thinking of taking that grand vacation, down payment on a house, higher education, TDC Financial Services has various plans that will allow you to go for your goals. Choose from the Accumulator Plus, Investment Starter Plan, and Fixed Deposit. Ready to go for your goals? Visit us at TDC Financial Services, where money is made easy.
Welcome back. Another sports in detail. In basketball, LeBron James says he is heartbroken over the death of Kobe Bryant and has promised to continue his fellow basketball greats' legacy. Bryant and his daughter Gianna were among 9 people killed in a helicopter crash on Sunday. LA Lakers star James surpassed Bryant to become the NBA's 3rd highest scorer of all time on Saturday. James also played alongside Bryant at the 2008 and 2012 Olympics, helping the United States win 2 gold medals. Man, I'm sitting here trying to write something for this post, but every time I try, I begin crying again just thinking about you, niece Gigi, and the friendship, bond, brotherhood we had, he posted on social media. The pair never played together in the NBA, but James, who joined the Lakers 2 years after Bryant's retirement, spoke about how much he looked up to his iconic longtime rival and friend. The NBA has called off the Los Angeles Lakers match against the LA Clippers on Tuesday. Bryant finished his playing career as the Lakers' all-time leading point scorer and is 4th on the NBA's all-time list with 33,643 points. In cricket, England bowler Stuart Broad has been fined 15% of his match fee for using inappropriate language during the 4th Test against South Africa. On Monday, Broad, 33, was involved in an altercation with Proteas captain Faf du Plessis during Day 4. Du Plessis was hit on the pads by a throw from Sam Curran, and an agitated exchange with Broad followed. Broad has also been given 1 demerit point, which takes his total to 2 in a 24-month period. If a player receives 4 or more demerit points within a 24-month period, they will receive a suspension. In the exchange with Broad, du Plessis was also involved in a collision with Josh Butler as the England wicketkeeper stood between the pair, but he has not been punished. Du Plessis, 35, said on Monday there was nothing malicious in the collision, and the International Cricket Council deemed the contact with Butler's shoulder was not deliberate. In tennis, Martina Navratilova and John McEnroe have incurred the wrath of Tennis Australia by parading a banner at the Australian Open calling for the Margaret Court Arena to be renamed. The banner, painted in Aboriginal style by Navratilova, bore the words Yvonne Goolagong Arena in recognition of the 4-time Australian Open champion. Tennis Australia said 2 high-profile guests had breached their protocols. Navratilova told BBC Sport, "I wanted to push the conversation forward." The 18-time Grand Slam champion, 3 times the winner of the singles in Australia, has long been an outspoken critic of court's views on the gay, lesbian and transgender community. 3 years ago, in an open letter to court published in the Sydney Morning Herald, she suggested Goolagong, an Indigenous Australian who won 7 Grand Slam singles titles, would be more worthy of the title. Navratilova took to the Empire's chair after the Legends match and in front of a small crowd invited McEnroe, winner of 7 Grand Slam singles titles, onto the court where they displayed the banner. And that's it for sports. The General Weather Report is next. Welcome back. Another local weather report for St. Kitts and Nevis. Weather tonight will be partly cloudy with a 30% to a low chance of showers after midnight. Weather tomorrow will be partly sunny with a 50% or a moderate chance of showers. The winds, there are near calm winds tonight and are south-southeast at 4 to 15 kilometers per hour. or 2 to 8 knots tomorrow. Seas are less than 1.5 meters or less than 5 feet. Sunrise tomorrow will be at 6:43 a.m. And that's a wrap up the major news package for today, Tuesday, 28th January 2020. Before we go, let's take a look at the headlines once again. Nationally, NRP selects female candidate to run in St. Thomas in place of retired Joseph Parry. And Golden Rock Hotel and Montpelier Plantation Inn Cup number 4 in 50 best places and 1 of 8 best spots respectively. Regionally, powerful earthquake rattles Jamaica and Cuba. Internationally, Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu drops bid for immunity in corruption cases. And in sports, LeBron James promises to continue Kobe Bryant's legacy. On behalf of the rest of the news team, I am Tashan Tyson, wishing you a pleasant evening.